Taking a look live at Tokyo, and that's another of our international focus points this morning. The Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, has this morning declared a state of emergency. He says it's a necessary move to give him the extra powers he needs to fight COVID-19 in the capital and in 6 other key regions. He also unveiled a massive stimulus package to kickstart the country's economy. Our Asia correspondent Sasha Petrusik is reporting from Tokyo today.
Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is resisting pressure to declare a state of emergency for weeks, partly comforted by Japan's relatively low infection and death rates, and partly afraid of what this would do to Japan's economy, which is already teetering on the brink of a recession. But the infection rates have in fact been going up. In Tokyo alone, over the past week, they've doubled to more than 1,000 cases. And in the rest of the country, there have also been some scary situations. So he did declare the state of emergency and told people today that the aim was to keep people inside.
Based on expert assumptions, if all of us try to avoid person-to-person contact, at least reduction by 70%, 80% reduction if possible, within 2 weeks, we can control the number of infections.
The emergency declaration is due to expire in about a month, at least for now. This is actually one step short of a formal lockdown for Japan, though. Under Japanese law, governments can order businesses to close and people to stay inside, but they cannot punish those who refuse to obey. Still, on the streets, there is a lot of support for this kind of a measure, with many people saying that if the government tells them it's this serious, they are much more likely to listen. This is, of course, much more serious for the economy as well. Abe was afraid of that, and today he introduced a huge stimulus package worth almost 1.5 trillion Canadian dollars. That's one of the biggest in the world and worth about 1/5 of Japan's annual economic output. It will be in the form of tax breaks and subsidies for consumers and for businesses. Japan now joins a couple of other countries in this Asian area, Singapore and Hong Kong, for instance, who initially managed to avoid huge infection rates and also managed to avoid strict measures, but are now finding that because of local outbreaks, because of cases coming in from the rest of the world, they're having to increase those measures and introduce things like Japan is. Sasha Petrusik, CBC News, Tokyo.